Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So if you're new here, my name is Faith and today I'm gonna show you how to knit this 1x1 rib stitch. It's a stretchy design and mostly it's used for hemming and cuffs. Also you can use it for heart ribbing and such like designs. So for this pattern you will need to cast on an odd number of stitches. I know other patterns tell you to cast on any number of stitches, but I prefer to end with the same stitch I started with to help me, mostly when I'm making sweaters or cardigans, to help me in joining the sides together. So go ahead and cast on any odd number of stitches and then I'll meet you on row 1. So for this tutorial I'll be using a 6.5mm knitting needles and a bulky weight yarn, a darning needle and pair of scissors. So for row 1, what you're going to do is you're going to knit the first stitch. So insert your right hand needle in your first stitch from left to right like that, and then grab your yarn, wrap it around your needle and then pull it off. And the second stitch you're going to purl it, so bring your yarn in front of your work and then insert your needle on the next stitch, wrap your yarn around that needle and then release it. Knit the next stitch, purl the next stitch, and repeat, alternating between a knit stitch and a purl stitch until the end of your row 1. So since we started with an odd number of stitches and we started with a knit stitch, your row should end also with a knit stitch. So when you reach the last stitch, you're going to knit it and then turn your row. So for row 2, we are going to knit all the knit stitches and purl all the purl stitches. So how do you know a knit stitch and a purl stitch? So when you want to identify a purl stitch, they have knots. So this is our first purl, and then the next stitch is a knit. The knit stitches are V-shape, so they don't have any knots. So you can see this one doesn't have a knot, it's a knit stitch. This one with a knot is a purl stitch. The next is a knit stitch. So for this row 2, we're going to purl all the purl stitches. And since our first stitch is a purl, we're going to purl it. So insert your needle from right to left and then purl it. Then knit the next, purl the next, and knit the next, purl the next, knit the next. So repeat this also to the end of your row. So since we started with the purl stitch, we're going to end also with the purl stitch. Then turn. And this pattern is a multiple of 2 rows, so row 1 and row 2. So the next row we're going to repeat our row 1 pattern, knitting the first stitch and purling the next stitch. Knit the next, purl the next, and alternate these until the end of your row. So we are also knitting knit stitches and purling the purl stitches. So this one is a normal V, you're going to knit it, and then this one has a knot in front, you're going to purl it. So repeat that until the end of your row, and I'll show you row 2, row 4, or the row 2 repeat one more time. So for the even number of rows, you're going to start with a purl stitch because it has a knot here, so it's a purl stitch, and then end also with a purl stitch. So purl the first, knit the next, then purl the next. So bring your yarn in front, insert your needle from right to left, then purl it. Knit the next, purl the next. So repeat also this one to the end of your row. Now what you want to note is that it's a simple ribbing. Once you've done the first row, the next rows are easy to work because you're going to knit on every stitch and purl on every purl stitch. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And until next time, God bless you, stay safe and enjoy your knitting.